12th standard, chapter 2, human reproductions. We are going to see next topic, human reproductive system. What is human reproductive system? The system which are used for the reproduction. That is we call as a human reproductive system. The picture what you are seeing is the one. This is the male reproductive system. You can go through this in your textbook. The male reproductive system comprises of a pair of testes, accessory ducts, glands, and external genitalia. External genitalia means the reproductive parts, a reproductive tract, that is we call as external genitalia. Testes are the primary male sex organs. They'll ask you one word, just underline. Dash are the primary male sex organs, testes. If you see the size of the pair of testes are ovoid bodies. They present in the scrotum. What is scrotum? Scrotum is a sac of skin that hang outside the body, that hang outside the abdominal cavity. What is scrotum? It is a sac-like structures of skin. What is sac? Sac means bag-like structure. They present outside the abdominal cavity. Since the viable sperms cannot be produced at a normal temperature, viable sperms means living sperms. They cannot be produced at our normal body temperature. The scrotum is placed outside the abdominal cavity to provide a temperature 2 to 3 degrees Celsius lower than the normal internal body temperature. Why the scrotum is present outside the abdominal cavity means in order to provide lesser than the 2 to 3 degrees Celsius of the testes. For that purpose only it is present the outside the abdominal cavity. Thus the scrotum acts as a thermoregulator for spermatogenesis. Dash or act as a thermoregulator. They'll ask you one word, just underline. Testes act as a thermoregulator. Now we'll see the structure of testes. I will show you one diagram here. So this is the one structure of testis diagram. I can explain to you. Each testis is covered by an outermost fibrous tunica albuginea. Here the black lined one. Can you see the parts? This parts also can be seen in your textbook. This picture they given here. So these are the parts are present in the testes. Blood vessels and nerves, vas deferens, epididymis, retitestis, tunica albuginea, tubulus, rectus, seminiferous tubules. So these are the parts are present in the testes. So the black spot line which I shown earlier, this diagram. So this is a black lined one. That lined only that fiber is called as a tunica albuginea and is divided by septa into 200 to 250 lobules. That tunica albuginea that is divided into septa means partitions. Can you see inside the line? Inside the testes a black line or present, that is they say as a septa one. So the septa about 200 to 250 lobules are present in that. Each contains 2 to 4 highly coiled testicular tubules. Here can you all see the lined one, coiled one, that is we say as a testicular tubules, or we and also we can say as a seminiferous tubules. Can you see the parts here, seminiferous tubules? So these highly convoluted tubules, highly convoluted means the folding one, which forms 80% of the testicular substance. So in that area, the folding tubules, they have 80% of the testicular substance. So that is the place, the testicular substance are the place where the sperms can be produced. That's why they given the book. These highly convoluted tubules, which form 80% of the testicular substance, are the sites for the sperm productions. Here this is the one you can go through in your textbook. So these explanations you can go through. And next we are going to see The stratified epitheliums of the seminiferous tubule. If you see in the seminiferous tubules, in that one, stratified epitheliums of the tissues will be there. So that seminiferous tubules made up of two types of cells. What are the two types of cells? One is the one Sertoli cells, another one is the one spermatogonia cells. Underline, take your textbook, just underline. There are two types of cells are present in the seminiferous tubules, which presents the stratified epithelium. The two types of cells are Sertoli cells and spermatogonic cells. The Sertoli cells is also called as a nerve cells. Nerve cells, underline. And spermatogonia cells is also called as a male germ cells. Now we'll see the two types of cells functions. First one, Sertoli cells. The Sertoli cells are elongated one and pyramidal, pyramid-like structure. That's what they say, elongated and pyramid one, and provide nourishment to the sperms till maturations. They provide nourishment to the sperm till maturations. They also secretes the one hormones called as a inhibin. That hormone's name called as a inhibin. What are the functions of that inhibins? The hormones which involved in the negative feedback control of sperm productions. Again, I'll repeat. They also secretes inhibins, that is the hormones which involve in the negative feedback control of sperm productions. So once the sperms are ejaculated, then sperms has to be stopped. So the stopping process are done by these inhibins hormones. Okay, that is the functions of the Sertoli. And next one is the spermatogonic cells. So these spermatogonic cells divide meiotically. The spermatogonic cells divides meiotically and differentiate to produce spermatozoa. The next one is the one interstitial cells or lytic cells. Interstitial cells or lytic cells. Here, the cells are embedded in the soft connective tissues surrounding the seminiferous tubule. So these cells are just attached. Embedded means attached or surrounded by the seminiferous tubules. So these cells are endocrine nature. Which one? The interstitials or lytic cells are the endocrine nature. And they secretes androgen. They secretes androgen, namely testosterone hormones. They secretes androgen. That androgen's name only called as a testosterone. They initiate the process of spermatogenesis. These testosterones initiate means the start process of spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis means formations of process of forming sperm. That is was a spermatogenesis. So these cells are endocrine in nature, and also they have characteristic features of the testes of mammals. And also they have immunological competent cells are also present in that one. What is immunological competent means? During ejaculation of sperms, through that way any germs or microbes may enter. If that microbes or germs enter means this immunological cells, they kill that one. The immunological cells, they kill that one. That is why we say as immunological competent cells are also present one. The next one is the one accessory ducts associated with the male reproductive systems. What are the accessory ducts are? What are the accessory ducts are associated? Associated means present or joined with the male reproductive systems. One is redi testis, vas deferentia, epididymis, and vas deferens. The next we'll see one by one. The seminiferous tubules of each lobules converge means to meet. The seminiferous tubules of each lobules meet or join to form a tubulus rectus. Tubulus rectus. You can find here tubulus rectus. I'll show you. So this is the structure of tubulus rectus. You can find in your textbook. Here, this is what they say here. All the seminiferous tubules. Okay, each lobules converge means joined or meet to form tubulus rectus. Okay, and that tubulus rectus carries sperms into redi testis. The tubular rectus carries sperms into redi testis. Okay, can you all see? And the redi testis is a tubular network on the posterior side of the testis. Redi testis is the one tubular network. Which region? The posterior regions. The bottom region. That is because of posterior regions. The sperms leave the redi testis and enter the epididymis through vas deferentia. Here, this is the one, epididymis. The sperms which comes out, they just come and store in the epididymis. The sperms leaves the ready testis, they enter in the epididymis through vas efferentia. So epididymis is a single highly coiled tube. Epididymis, you're going to see here, these are the parts called as epididymis. They are a single highly coiled tube that temporarily store the spermatozoa. Here, epididymis, that temporarily the sperms are stored in this one. That's what they say here. They undergo physiological maturations. Once if they store in the temporarily in the epididymis, they undergo for the physiological maturations. The sperms will undergo for the maturation. That's what they say is a physiological maturation, and acquire increased mortality. What is acquire increased mortality means? Once if they get maturations, the epididymis is the temporary storage of sperms. During that time, the sperms undergo for the maturations, and they move here and there. That's what they call as a mortality. Increased mortality means moving here and there. And fertilizing capacity also will be takes place in the epididymis. They'll ask you what are the functions of epididymis. Just mark it out 2 marks. The epididymis leads to vas deferens and joins the duct of semivesicles to form ejaculatory duct, which pass through the prostate and open into urethra. The urethra is terminal portions of the male reproductive systems and used to convey both urine and semen at different times. Here, seminal vesicles, urethra after urinary bladder. That's urethra different and urethra different. Urethra just presents in the below the urinary bladder. They act as they pass urine as well as the sperm. It is originate from urinary bladder, extend through penis by external opening called urethral meatus. You can go through all this, whatever we have so far completed. If you have any doubt, you can contact me through WhatsApp. Okay, bye. Take care.